You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. One of the things that, while this was happening today, of course, the family of Ronald Greene, they were at the state capitol in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, demanding justice in that case. He is the young man who police initially said had crashed into a tree and died, when in fact he was severely tased, assaulted, really just brutalized. His case is under investigation by state and federal authorities. A couple of officers have actually lost their jobs. Reese, this is one of those cases again. 2 years ago, he was killed. The family is there they were there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, demanding justice. And this is just, again, one after another, where we have to yell, kick, scream, holler, act a fool to get justice. And then they released the video, and we see exactly what happened. But they lied to this man's family, saying he died in a car crash when they know they tortured this man to death.
It's just never ending, and it's crazy how, like you said, this is something that happened 2 years ago, and it's now just coming to this level of attention to it. And that's the importance of body camera footage. I remember when the whole defund the police argument was going on, and they were against body cams because they said it increases funding for police departments. But how in the hell are we supposed to know what's really happening to people without body cameras? Because we for damn sure cannot rely on the cops to tell the truth about what is going on. And so it's sickening. It seems like it's never ending. To a lot of people say you cannot train this behavior out of people. You can't even pass laws to prevent this kind of behavior. The only thing that we could try to do is try to make it so that there is actual punishment and accountability in these cases, but it does not bring a Ronald Greene back or all of the lives that we've lost to police brutality back.
This, folks, is some video that I'm playing right now. It was on Twitter. The family going to the state capitol, demanding justice in the case of Ronald Greene. Amisha, you can talk over this. And again, 2 years. This family has to go there and hold marches and do all of this sort of stuff. And then people wonder why black folks don't believe in the justice system. Well, when the police sit here and lie and then make and literally lie about what happened, the camera tells a different story. They even tried to hide. One of the cops tried to hide his body camera footage.
You're absolutely right, Roland, and it's frustrating. This is another layer of what we already knew about a lot of these police brutality cases, what we already knew about police covering for themselves and their cop friends. But it's beyond just body camera footage, because the footage was available. The footage was available immediately. We're talking about something that didn't just happen last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. This man's family buried him a while ago. We're talking about years at this point. And there has been zero accountability. My frustration isn't just the fact that there was body cam footage. Body cam footage can exist, and it's great when it does. However, when it exists and you can clearly see on it the length of brutality, the extent of a 49-minute video of this man being beaten, bloody, cursed out, being made fun of, and you're hearing all of these racial epithets. You're hearing them talk about the possibility of AIDS. You're seeing them use hand sanitizer to wipe the blood off of their hands after they've literally watched this man die and offered no form of aid. The problem I have with this is that the police had it the entire time. The investigators had it the entire time. There is at no point anyone who looked back and said, this is wrong. These guys should be pulled off. There should be an investigation. They should be charged with murder. Nothing for how long? So it's not just the presence of body cam, because body cam doesn't mean a darn thing if you're not going to pursue legal ramifications when police officers act outside of that badge and commit murder. So I think that for that family, my heart goes out to them, because they've been trying to fight for justice for so long. But also the full recognition that these police reports don't matter because they essentially lie more often than not, but also that body cams don't matter in many cases. This case did not have a young girl out with her cell phone taking camera footage and putting it on social media and showing the world. This was people largely dependent on the police officers themselves being held accountable by the body cam footage that they had. And that simply did not happen.
Dr. Greg Carr, we're playing video right here of the protesters who are blocking one of the roadways there in Baton Rouge. They want to get folks' attention. At the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, Roland, what we're seeing right now is what you just showed is justification for the white nationalists in this country who are working feverishly at the state level to introduce legislation and pass legislation to allow white nationalists to run over protesters. This is not a country. In the words of Mother Viola Fletcher last week, she said, "I think about the horrors inflicted upon black people in this country every day." She's 170 years old. With all, again, due respect to Representative Clyburn, the difference between qualified immunity in this piece of federal legislation and not qualified immunity is the difference between a full loaf of bread and a piece of paper with the word bread written on it. Brother, let's be serious here. Let's be serious. The reason, as Amisha just laid out very powerfully, the reason they can joke, the reason they can spray hand sanitizer trying to get the blood off their hands is because, contrary to what those cowards say with their bird chests when they stand up in a court of law, they do not fear for their lives. It is time for them to fear for their lives. It is time for their children and their husbands and their wives to fear for the loss of their homes and their children's future inheritance. It's time for them to literally fear for their lives because, see, here's what's going to happen. Here's what is going to happen. We're going to get the message that if the police pull you over, you better be strapped and you better be ready because, as Ice Cube said, rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So let's get serious, Representative Clyburn. Either it's qualified immunity and you roll back the judge-invented doctrine of qualified immunity that came into existence in the 60s and then was reinforced and greatly expanded in the 1980s. Some of us can read law cases too, brother. Or prepare yourself for what comes next, because one of these days we're going to get the message. And that message is not going to be very kind to these killer death squad cops and their fake punk-ass attorneys that back them up and the cities that pay rather than them pay and break up these damn police unions. Qualified immunity has to go, brother. They have to be punished. That's what will back them off for us.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have that you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.